Civil wars, famine, overpopulation, high taxes, and poverty plagued much of China during the 19th and 20th century. When news of a golden land across the sea reached villages in China, many of the Chinese journeyed to America, lured by the promise of a better life.
The first few immigrants were welcomed as a boost to the manpower of America, but were soon resented due to increased job competition. Some 175,000 were able to go through Angel Island and into America, and even more through Ellis Island into the East Coast.
In the California gold rush, many young Chinese men traveled to America with the intention of returning rich. Sadly, only a few immigrants actually became wealthy and returned home. At first, only a few thousand had immigrated to America, but soon, hundreds of thousands flooded into the country. Determined to create a livelihood for themselves, many also made a living operating businesses or performing a large variety of menial work.
When the Transcontinental Railroad started construction in about 1865, many Chinese also started working by laying roads of track. About 15,000 were employed, and were famed for being hard workers. As a result, they could be hired for less for the same amount of work done.
When the railroad was finally completed in 1869, population in the far west had bursted in number, especially in California. White workers soon found themselves competing for jobs with thousands of unemployed Chinese railroad workers. Many European immigrants started to resent them for posing a threat towards possible job openings.
Anti-Chinese sentiment has always been building in cities where it became a major political issue in Western politics. On May 6, 1882, Congress passed the Chinese Exclusion Act, limiting the number of Chinese immigrating to America for 10 years. The act then renewed for another 10 years in 1892. Then, in 1902, they renewed the act again, but instead added 40 years.
In World War II, China was a major ally of the United States, and the Chinese Exclusion Act became a national embarrassment. It was quickly revoked, and the Chinese were once again free to immigrate.